dawn of the 15th century. China is the unrivaled ruler of the seas, with an almighty grip on power that seems unstoppable. Nothing compares to the scale of China's treasure fleet. 27,000 men, 317 ships. They must have been worlds unto themselves, with enough supplies to last for months and cargo bays of treasure fit for kings. But soon the fleet would vanish and China would close its doors to the outside world. National Geographic photographer Mike Yamashita continues his journey to discover what happened to this great age of expansion and the man who was at its helm, the towering eunuch admiral Zheng He, who in his lifetime was hailed as a hero in China. From Asia to Africa, we follow the voyages of China's greatest explorer, Zheng He. For nearly 30 years, he led the treasure fleet on 7 epic voyages. It was a feat centuries ahead of its time.
China was incredibly more advanced scientifically, culturally, and economically. It amounted for, by far, the largest share of the world economy. Maybe the best measure of China's sophistication was that it was not until World War I that Europe and the West were finally able to put together a fleet as sophisticated as China had in the early 15th century.
From China, we've traveled through the South China Sea and across the great Indian Ocean. Beyond Sri Lanka, like Zheng He, we turn north. The promise of exotic spice has always been a lure for adventurers. And somewhere along this coast, we'll find that precious commodity all traders sought. In those days, it was known as black gold.
Malabar pepper. I think it's the most famous pepper in the world because its history goes back the furthest.
Yeah, it's got a name and it still commands a huge premium in the market.
I meet up with Arun Ramakrishnan, whose family has been trading pepper for generations.
What's special about Malabar pepper?
Well, it's got a special aroma. It's what lends it its flavor.
I'm at a pepper go down in Calicut, and this is the reason why Zheng He stopped here on all of his voyages. He was coming to buy the black gold pepper. This was the most precious of all the trading goods that Zheng He came in search of. What they're doing here is pushing the pepper through little holes, and that's what we're talking about grading, because the big stuff, only the biggest peppercorns will be left in this tray after this process. So, Arun, so this is the pepper grading going on over here with these women. What's going on over there?
There you have a buyer and a seller. You have the broker in between. So they'll negotiate the price under the handkerchief. I think so you hold 2, that's 200.
Right.
Or 300.
Right.
Or maybe I think this is 500.
Right. You know anything about the history? Do you think it might go back to Zheng He days when
well-
Arabs and Chinese and Indians were trading and maybe didn't speak the same language?
It could well be, because we sit in one room and we don't even have to speak.
Right, right.
You can just trade and without having to speak at all. You can
Great
just
system.
say yes, no.
Wonderful.
It's enough to just shake your head.
In nearby Sri Lanka, Zheng He was drawn into the war between the island's ethnic groups. But here in India, there was no such conflict, and exchange flourished. The Chinese called the port of Calicut the great country of the Western Ocean. As Ma Huan, the treasure fleet's young Muslim chronicler, wrote, "The people are very honest and trustworthy. Their appearance is smart, fine, and distinguished." The fleet would anchor for months as Chinese and Indian traders bartered for goods and filled the ships with pepper, pearls, precious stones and coral. All in all, Zheng He probably spent years here. Perhaps it's why these Chinese fishing nets are still here.
These nets were brought here sometime between 1350 and 1450, which means Zheng He could have easily been the person who brought these to the Malabar coast.